Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Nort, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be doing a speed test of all three brand new supercars in GTA Online, which were just recently added in the GTA 5 Cunning Stunt DLC. If you guys are no stranger to the Cunning Stunt DLC, then you would understand that each vehicle comes at an extremely high price, and despite the amazing reviews of each vehicle, I decided to put together this video just to help you guys decide on which vehicle you want to purchase, because of course, each one is extremely expensive, some of them reaching up to $2.5 million, and across all three vehicles, you'll be spending about $7 million just to purchase them. So to start things off, we're going to go straight into the Progen Tyrus. Now this vehicle is the most expensive of all of them. At a whopping price of $2,550,000, this vehicle definitely isn't cheap. Anyway, off on a great start, this vehicle in my opinion has the better acceleration of the other two vehicles which came in this DLC, and to be honest, I just really like how this vehicle looks. It's retro, it's unique, and I believe it's based off the 1999 McLaren F1, which makes this vehicle a brother to the Progen family, aka the T20. Anyway, as you can see, after the first drag race, we managed to get quite a good time of 21 seconds, 0.256, which is quite a good time for this vehicle. Anyway, I do two other tests as well, just to make sure this is kind of fair, so we can get a pretty good average of what this vehicle will come in when you do race it on a drag race. So I'm going to speed this up as we go along, but they pretty much range around the 21-second mark. I believe on my third race, I actually got the exact same time, just 100th of a second out, which was crazy. So that shocked me a lot. The second time we did it, we got 21.291 seconds, which was, of course, once again, a pretty good time as well. This is a tiny bit faster than the T20. If you guys remember the T20 in a speed test, it's no longer the fastest car in the game, but the T20 is still a little bit slower than this vehicle. So if you guys are comparing between which one's faster, this vehicle is a little bit faster than the T20. And as you can see for the last speed test, 21.256 seconds. Now I believe this puts the average around 21.27 seconds. I think I worked out at 21.268, remembering off my head, but it's around 21.27 seconds. And now we're going to go on to the cheaper car. This one is about $75,000 cheaper. It's the RE-7B. The appearance on this vehicle, in my opinion, has changed a lot when compared to the Progen Tyrus. It seems more modern, and it seems like a very well-built car, and when taking it on a drag race, you guys are going to be in for a surprise. And although this vehicle might not be holding up its end on a racetrack, on a drag race, it's actually the fastest vehicle of the three, beating the most expensive Progen Tyrus. And it's faster by quite some significance, at 20.891 seconds on the first try. And this is absolutely crazy, considering it's about half a second faster than the previous Progen Tyrus. I was not expecting that, considering the Progen Tyrus is, of course, a lot more money than this vehicle. So if you guys want a vehicle on speed, this is the fastest vehicle out of the three, just to let you guys know. And I know this probably surprised a lot of you guys as well, considering this isn't the most expensive vehicle. It surprised me, and it surprised a lot of my friends. But unfortunately, I do not test this out on a racetrack, so I cannot confirm whether this will hold up its end on a racetrack. My guess is that the Progen Tyrus will have some extra abilities, which the RE-7B will not be able to do on a racetrack, and it might lose out. But to a normal person racing in GTA Online, if you're no expert at racing like me, if you're just like grabbing a car and driving it along a racetrack, you will barely notice a challenge. And if the racetrack has a lot of straights, then this vehicle is definitely the one for you. As you can see, 20.69 seconds. This is over half a second faster than the Progen Tyrus. So like I said, if you are playing on a race with a huge straight or loads and loads of straights and very few corners, this vehicle is the one for you. Now, just for sake's reason, I decided to do the Emperor ETR1. Just because I knew you guys are probably going to be asking, what about the Emperor? Have you tried that in comparison against these two supercars? Well, I decided to try it in this video. I did 2 races. I didn't do 3 or anything because I know this one is going to be slower considering it's $500,000 cheaper, but in my opinion this vehicle is the most beautiful out of each supercar which came in the Cunning Stunts DLC. And just using this on the drag race, inevitably it was slower, but it's not considerably slower. If we were to put this in perspective, it's pretty much just over half a second slower than the Progen Tyrus, and the Progen Tyrus is about half a second slower than the RE-7B. So to put this into perspective, the RE-7B is the fastest, the Progen Tyrus is the second fastest, and the Emperor ETR1 is the third fastest. But if you guys are looking for a really nice supercar, I absolutely love the Emperor ETR1. If you have the money, feel free to splash that cash and get on it, because you're still getting a really nice car. Unfortunately, the performance statistics on this vehicle are a little bit low. The acceleration, in my opinion, isn't as good as the other two vehicles, but it has got some really nice handling. It feels like it's being pushed to the ground. It feels like a very heavy vehicle, and I think you guys will love that just like I do as well, because I love using a vehicle which I feel like I have control over, and that is the Emperor ETR1 all over. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the professional statistics or anything like that on what this is like on a racetrack. I'm not a skilled enough racer to make that judgment on which vehicle is better on a racetrack. Of course, it really does depend on the track you are using. In my opinion, if you were using a track which has very few corners, use the Annis RE-7B. If you're using a track with loads and loads of tight bends and corners, use the Emperor ETR1. But if you're using just a standard track, then I think the Progen Tyrus will be a perfect car for you. But it really depends on which track you guys want to use. But in terms of which vehicle you guys should purchase, I recommend getting the Annis RE-7B. It's cheaper, faster, and there's not too much difference between that and the Progen Tyrus. But if you guys want a vehicle which has some amazing handling, and I'm using it in this race as well, so you guys can make some judgment on that, get the Emperor ETR1. It's a beautiful car, and like I said, the handling on it is insane. One thing which I don't like about this update though is that the lack of customization features really does come clear. Unfortunately, the only vehicle with some proper customization features out of each 3 supercar is this one, the Emperor ETR1, which is a huge shame. But fortunately, we do have the ETR1 to boast those awesome customization features, but I would love to know your thoughts about that in the comments. Also guys, if you have a preferred car of preference, feel free to let me know in the comments section below, because I would love to see which car you guys prefer and which one you guys are just going to purchase and use all the time, because it's going to be different for everyone. It depends on how you guys feel when you are racing on stunt races or just on tracks or in free mode in general. Now, something else I want to mention is that on the Rockstar Games newswire, Rockstar did mention that there's going to be some new vehicles being added into the game over the next 3 weeks. Unfortunately, we do not know exactly what vehicles these are going to be. People are researching it as we speak though, and the moment I find out, I will of course make a video and explain exactly which vehicles we're going to be seeing added into the game over the next 3 weeks. However, if there are going to be new vehicles being added into the game, as we saw with the 811 and the X80, we could have some brand new supercars, and these supercars could absolutely dominate all 3 of these vehicles, and we might even have another fastest car in the game. This really wouldn't surprise me. Like I said, we saw the same thing with the 811 and the X80 with the Finance and Felony DLC, and we do know there's going to be 3 more vehicles into the game. So if you guys are still undecided about which vehicle you guys want to get, because it is a lot of money, I do understand some of you guys might be a bit reluctant into spending that money, then feel free to wait up to 3 weeks and Rockstar might release a vehicle better than one of these. But if you guys want to get one vehicle of your choice, I recommend going for the Annis RE-7B. You guys won't regret it, just don't go for the other 2, or else you might end up spending a bit too much money in GTA Online. Small tip for you guys who want to get the car to go a little bit faster, take away the armor on your vehicle. If you take away the armor, the vehicle will go faster. I can tell in a previous speed test I did, some of you guys were claiming you got slower times than me. You must make sure you take off the armor. Every time I customize these vehicles, I remove all of the armor so the vehicles will go a tiny bit faster, and it's that extra millisecond which might even help you win the race. So just to let you guys know, the basis of the speed test is to make sure each vehicle is fully customized and each vehicle has the armor removed. Of course, if you guys don't want to customize the vehicles, the statistics are still going to be in pretty much the same ratios as you guys saw here. They're just not going to be as good. But if you guys do want to customize the vehicles, I recommend you do so. The customizations aren't as expensive as I expected, and there's also discounts on loads and loads of things in the mod shop. So feel free to go and check that out. You're probably going to spend about $400,000 in customizations per vehicle though, so make sure you do take that into account when you do purchase the vehicle. Anyway guys, unfortunately that is all I got time for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, please don't leave without smashing that like button. It would be very much appreciated. And if you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button as well, so you won't miss out on any more Grand Theft Auto 5 content every single day. To conclude, the fastest car in this DLC is the second most expensive, the $2.475 million Annis RE-7B. It's a beautiful vehicle. It's got 2 livery designs. Let me know in the comments section below, however, which is your favorite vehicle in this DLC. And hey, it might not even have to be a supercar. It can be any vehicle which came out in this DLC. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I'm super intrigued to see which vehicle is the most favorite one in the community. So once again, let me know your favorite vehicle down in the comments section below. Anyway guys, my name is Nort. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.